Hello, my name is Travis Hallman. I am the lead administrator for the Ask a Libertarian Facebook fan page. I'm here at Freedom Fest in Las Vegas, Nevada with Adam Kokesh. Adam Kokesh is seeking the nomination of the Libertarian Party in 2020 for president. Agorism does not support political engagement in the form of political party promotion as a means to transition to a free society. Partyarchism supports the pursuit of a free society ends through political parties via voting. This is a two-part question, Mr. Kokesh. Have you ever refrained from voting for the reason that voting is a construct of government? If so, how do you present the importance of voting with an agorist? And if not, how do you present the importance of not voting with the partyarchist?
Sure. Well, for myself, I think I've just not voted out of laziness a handful of times, but I haven't been allowed to vote now since I became a felon in 2013. It's funny because now I live in Arizona, so I'm allowed to run for president, but I'm not allowed to vote for myself in my home state. So you don't have an obligation to vote. There's no commitment. There's no duty. There's no responsibility. I'm not going to play that game. And most of the time, voting is a waste of time. If there's no libertarian on the ballot, if there's no significant ballot measure that's going to change your life, yeah, if you have something better to do, go do something better. But the arguments against voting on principle are wrong, on principle. And one of them is voting is violence. And that's absurd. And it's really important, as a libertarian advocating for a philosophy based on universal nonviolence, to say we ascribe responsibility properly. You know, if you punch me in the face and your brother's cheering you on, I'm not going to hold him responsible. I'm going to hold you responsible. You know, same thing with an election. If a government is committing a crime against me, wronging me, stealing from me in the name of taxation, I can't, you know, go steal back from somebody else because they're a voter who voted for it. No, the crime here is holding an election and forcing the results on people. Voting is an expression of preference. You might be voting to, like, yeah, please beat me less, be a nicer, kinder slave master. Sure, and most of the time, yeah, that's a waste. But the other argument is one that I find really, really disturbing, especially from libertarians. And I think anybody who makes this argument reveals that they're not a libertarian. And that is that voting legitimizes the state. No amount of voting could possibly legitimize the state. If you think that voting can legitimize the state, you're a statist. Like, you're not a libertarian at that point. No, voting does not give them an excuse to do violence against you. They were going to do it anyway, and they're using the voting as a means to say, well, we got this authority from the people. And you can take that away. And we are at the point in human history now where they can really only cheat on elections so much. They have exit polls. You know, we have general accountability. We can see, yeah, they can cheat. And yeah, the main thing they do to cheat is keep people off the ballot. But enough libertarians organize and demand to be on the ballot, they can't keep us off. So you look at marijuana, and I hate to keep going back to this, but as just one example, it was because people came out and voted in state referendums that marijuana, at least at this point now in the United States, it's so legal that it's not even fun to smoke anymore. So with that, you can see that the people who are making those arguments against participating, you got to question their motives and question their philosophical grounding. Because if they're saying that voting is violence or that it legitimizes the state, then they really don't know what they're talking about.
Very interesting. I would like to ask you this: are the means from each social philosophy so different that the two cannot work together toward a voluntary society?
Oh, definitely will. Oh, of course not. And I think that's, like, hopefully the most important thing anybody gets out of this is that if you're trying to ask the question, you know, between
what are you guys doing?
Between the two,
are you voting for president?
We're doing an interview.
Sorry.
So, that it's almost like an artificial divide. You know, that someone came in, and I got to hand it to Konkin, because Konkin developing, you know, the theory of agorism, you know, gave great form and body to this particular strategic approach. But to say like it's this versus this, I think he kind of went wrong with that. And if you just go, no, it's just libertarian, just unite under the idea of libertarianism, then these strategic divides really become irrelevant. You see, it's all synergistic, and it all contributes to moving humanity towards a voluntary society, which most importantly is inevitable. It really doesn't matter what any of us do. This is the natural course of human progress. Nonviolence is better than violence. Cooperation is better than coercion. The market naturally favors freedom, so we're going to get it.
Personally, I think you're a very inspirational person. What efforts have you taken to work with agorists or partyarchists to create a voluntary society?
Well, I mean, I'm working with both. I am both. I really reject the divide in terms of like identity. You know, like I was saying, everybody's an agorist. Even the most, virulent statists practice agorism in some things in their lives that they want to keep away from government. So I reject this, negative competition between strategies that have to be synergistic. So what I'm doing, obviously running for president or running to dissolve the federal government specifically, is entirely within the realm of politics. And a lot of the activism that I'm doing around and with the campaign is more in the realm of agorism and awareness raising, like even the March of the Dead Veterans that we did in New Orleans recently, while we're saying end the drug war and give the VA to veterans, which are sort of specific political objectives, to address the issue of veteran suicide, just raising the awareness and letting veterans know, hey, you're not alone in struggling with issues that you're struggling with. That's agorism. We're not waiting for government. We're not waiting for the VA. We're going to get veterans together to help each other directly. So that's a huge part of it for me. Encouraging people to use cryptocurrency. Really, we take away the money racket from government. Most of the rest goes away eventually. So yeah, and it's a big part of what I promote with the campaign is that we should have we take cryptocurrencies, and that when we dissolve the federal government, we might be liquidating it for cryptos, and I hope that that's the dominant currency of the time. So yeah, even in my activism, they really do go hand in hand.
Perfect. In conclusion, what other efforts can others take to work with agorists or partyarchists to create a voluntary society?
I don't know. I think I just gotta defer to the Ron Paul answer here, which is he says if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Do what you enjoy, do what you love, do what makes you happy, because that's increasing the value in your life. Apply the principles. Be of a free mind where you're not thinking in someone else's box. That you're able to realize will to the max potential for what is creating value for you and making you happy.
Amazing. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Ask a Libertarian Facebook fan page is spreading awareness of libertarianism and informing non-libertarians while empowering those who support liberty on a daily basis. This is your opportunity to be empowered, and let us advocate libertarianism for you at facebook.com/askalibertarian.